talk about the Igbos and everything, you have to understand that because of the things that we have been through decades upon decades, we are best equipped to actually weather this storm because we have been so out of the hole. We have been under governance but not governed, if you understand what I mean, right? We haven't received anything in form of infrastructure, all of that. We've just been given the barest minimum, but as a tribe and as a people, we have been kind of like kept out of the loop of things. Okay, so when you think about that and you're saying, okay, these people should come and join you to do what exactly? If you're being honest and sincere with yourself, because when you're sincere with yourself, when you're sincere with the problems of the country of Nigeria, and you actually don't look past your immediate issues, but that the problems of Nigeria stem from even the injustice done to one, which nobody ever addressed. And just like you said, injustice done to one is injustice done to all. When you say, okay, I'm not going to talk about, because okay, it is Igbo people, that's their own business, and then tomorrow you. Do you understand? It's the same thing you just said now. Yes, so don't say, okay, because they are coming for the Igbos, they're just going to stay still. That's what Nigeria is suffering from now. That injustice, that folding your arms when everyone should have stood up and said, you know what?
I mean, I've had some of these miscreants, Igbo miscreants, who have come onto my platform to say to me that, you, why you are just using the Igbo problem to cash out money. I was like, I know they are kind of here too, right?
And I'm glad that we don't.
Why are you talking about the Igbos? Leave us alone. Stop talking about us. I was like, no, I'm not talking about you, lunatic. I'm talking about the real people who understands, right? What
I dare to say that.
So I've had few like that. I just want people to know that it's not about you.
It's not. It's like
more about myself and where I come from than anyone else. Because if you look at it very well, right? I am also, my people exist in that same place. So who says what happened to you won't happen? It's already happening to my own people. So that's why everybody who has a chance to speak, like I'm doing, Charm.
Everybody who has a chance, to speak and to stand up against injustice should, because we're suffering from that inactivity. That is what is holding us down right now. It's none of my business. It doesn't concern me, this and that. But ultimately it concerns you, because look at where everyone is at.
That's right.
Look at where we all are now. Do you understand? Then finally, with regards to Shores, I don't think every point that he made is valid to some degree. But are you requesting or demanding? Do you understand? Is it a request to this?
You see what you say?
Is it a request to this?
Yeah,
current
who are we asking to do
dispensation?
it? Who are we asking to scrap the Senate? Who are we asking to write a new like all that stuff? They must be very clear.
Listen, exactly. We have to be very clear in terms of like Kenya. Kenya have a president or whatever. For whatever Ruto is, do you understand? For whatever Ruto is, for whatever Ruto isn't, right? At least he's able to have a conversation with those people.
Yeah.
Tinubu is not. None of our politicians or the political elite or the people who actually benefit from this current contraction, you cannot talk to them the way the Kenyans are talking to Ruto. So it should not be a question of we want to do this. No, you're actually, this is like unseating the current government.
Who are you asking? See these guys, right?
Who are you asking?
They're asking Ruto. They said he should sack his ministers. He did, right? They said he should cut down the government cost. He did. Now that they've discovered that he's killed them, they said he has to go. Now that's the one that he doesn't want to do.
But eventually he has to go. He has to call it. He's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, who are they going to get to replace him? Is it another puppet of the West? But then again, that is an issue for down the road. Mm-hmm. But for us right now, who are preparing to, to protest and everything, please, are we asking or demanding? Are we insisting? Are we insisting that this government vacate that this? We don't want any single of them, because none of them is a leader. None of them, all of them should go.
They also be asked to go.
We need everybody. So this is not exactly. So we're not. It's not. We're not asking. This is what we want. And everything. No, we are demanding that you leave because you're not capable. We are chasing you people out of this place because you're not capable.
Mm-hmm.
If you want things to work in a certain way, when you go, constitute a caretaker committee for the state, right? of which we will screen the people who will be in that caretaker community, because it cannot be your people that will be there, at least, just to ensure that there's still some semblance of law and order whilst you depart that particular position, because we know that you're not capable. So they should ask you, the question should also be, if you are requesting, then we haven't started, because we are not. You should not be requesting. You should be demanding that they leave, they go. You should be dragging.
They should be demanding. Demand, charm. I think that's solved it, right?
I think it should be. Maybe what I'm trying to say. It has to be more forceful. It seems like you're still asking them.
It should be directed at something. That you want to take that action. Now, if you want to say, okay, you know what, Tinubu, number one, you see all these criminals you appointed. We know you are illegitimate, okay? But you had the power to sack all of them before you sack yourself, Abi. Now sack all of them. And he says, no, I won't.
Yeah.
Now you can push that for days until he sacks all of them. Then you now go back to the ministries and parastatals and look at all the duplication, security distance, and say, close all of this. Now you can do all of that kind of demand, and you'll be asking him to. If you don't, we're not leaving. I think that's what it should be. Or is that not what you're talking about?
Yes. My goal, but you know what I want is I want Tinubu out of there. That's my own.
Yeah,
that's
it's going to be like gradual.
Like
somebody will have to sack some first, then eventually you would have to pack and leave. I think. Charm.
Well, that's what I think that that look at it, that somebody has to sack somebody. But yes, exactly. We are sacking the government. We're asking them to go. They're not good. They should go. That's what we want.
Right. That one is anyway. But there are steps.
Yeah, it's bold, but Nigeria is a bold step.
What the Kenyans are doing. All right. Initially, if you want to deal with people like this, you need to kind of make them feel like they are compromising, and when they are compromising, they are securing their position. You have to make them feel that way. Kenyans made their Ruto feel like he was compromising, he was giving up some spaces to save himself until the Kenyans came for him. Now he's got nobody to sack again. He would have to sack himself. Now that is the one that can now drag. But guess what? Majority of those who are talking down on them, in Kenya today, they do not have such privilege anymore. Now, if you can start with all these rogues, all this, I mean, I don't know. You put me in this imagination charm. I'm beginning to kind of feel like imagining things, and I hate it when imagination owns me, right?
No.
It's not impossible. That's the point, yeah. It is not impossible.
Exactly.
People have to ask for it.
But bottom line is that this particular government needs to go, and I still believe in just separation at the moment. So even if that separation just allows you to understand that the Yorubas are not an Igbo problem, or the Igbos are not a Yoruba problem, or and things like that, just so that we understand what the real issues are. So if at the end of the day it generates like different regions who are able to do their own thing, I think that is where we are going. But first of all, these people just need to go. They just need to leave. As far as I'm concerned, that's the way I see it. Anyway, let other people call in and put their own 10 cents.
Again, so I hope I see you later in the evening, though. Okay, you have a good one, ma'am.
Thank you, my
lady there, Charm. Now, listen, if you are still with us and you haven't really probably paid your offering is to like the broadcast. Buy me a coffee if you can, but that is not so important or necessary, okay? Then you liking the broadcast. It's so easy to do. Like it, share it. Here is another caller. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Maigun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you, Baba?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've listened to I think the first caller. He said something about the risk in having to start the protest from the seat of power, right? So basically, I think the man might be right because of the sensitivity and the risk of hello.
I'm with you, Baba. Continue.
Yeah. So the risk of the government, the the so-called government to turn it to a tribal issue and a religious issue, because of course we know that that's one of the factors in Nigeria that has so far enabled the government to hold on to power, and because of that division skill, they are very good in it. They will find a way, or know how they will find it, even if it's after 1 or 2, 3 days, something will come up. They will start some kind of thing that will now, make everybody to go their separate way, because they are good in it. So I think is a valid point. And of course, Charm, the lady that I've just spoken as well. Of course, it's the bad government must go. Yes, of course, we all know that doesn't stop people to go to Abuja. Abuja is like a central where everybody can gather. Yes,
saying, put it this way, Baba. It's like saying, now all of us should go and deal with our own state government, which I support 100%, right? And then the people in Abuja will be doing what? Would they just be expecting the result from all of us? They too will be there. In fact, they are among those. That's where she will live anyway. So they are among those who are going to hit the street first on that D-Day.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But
so
why not all of them? So go on.
Yeah. So I don't know why. Sometimes if I think about Mr. Shiwore, sometimes because why is he how would I say it? Why is he fighting for Nigerian? Is he just for the revolution to happen? For what? Is he because of the increase in poverty, or the increase in negligence of the government to the people they were meant to be looking after, or what? So if is reasonable, yes, if is reasonable enough, he should be able to read in between the line what is important. That okay, people need a good social economic situation where people will be, you won't be able to see difference between rich and poor, right? Because if everybody have enough to eat, if everybody have one thing or the other that they are doing, and then at least they pay their, they are being faithful enough, pay your tax, and then and then you will be able to have your say. But perhaps maybe because Nigerians are not very good in, they are not they are not consistent enough, or truthful to themselves. I mean, ordinary Nigerians, that okay, if you are meant to be paying your tax, you pay it. That will give you that bold, that boldness to say, you know what, I've had enough, and I need to fight for my rights right now, because I've been paying, my parents have paid, everybody in my family are paying their taxes in their own little way, according to your earnings. Yes, we want justice. We want accountability. Yes,
even those of
yes,
you who are not paying taxes too, as citizens of the country,
yes,
and you don't have a job, you too can stand up and even fight the government for you not having a job. You know that?
Yeah, but haven't yeah, I know. Of course, that's yes. But haven't you listen to these ministers and all these people saying that, oh yes, mainly Nigerians are self-employed?
Yeah,
okay, if they are self-employed,
using that narrative, even though
exactly,
even though
yes,
they won't give you any reliable data to say those Nigerians that are self-employed,
it
right?
is,
They are self-sufficient.
it is,
They won't give you the
yes,
data. Majority of them are not
yes.
self-sufficient.
You see, it is intentional. Why would somebody in a market or in a Agbero bus stop have just a little paper where they will be cutting it, giving it to people to pay some money? That is not right.
That's what they're doing. It's called extortion.
So because
system, a rent-seeking system.
exactly, that's exactly extortion.
But
Yes, that is extortion. So what?
You are not sure what he's pushing and all of that. But I think it's all
What does it stand for?
Okay.
Does it stand for just that revolution that has no no base, has no foresight that okay, this is what we're fighting for. You see, you don't have to show it broadly that okay, you are not. Yeah, okay.
Hanging there, right? See, Showore's group, even if by any means we disagree with him or we agree with him or not, right? All these your questions, okay, they've been answered here. They are the ones who pushed out that 14-point agenda demand, 14-point demand. Now they are now trying to educate the people about these demands and why people must make sure they happen. So to answer your question, look at this one, right? Number one, in their demand, they are demanding that the 1999 constitution should be replaced with people-made constitution through a sovereign national conference where people are actually going to conduct a national referendum to approve a constitution that represents them for the first time, right? So that simply means that even Tinubu and his gang, they probably would have to go, okay? But they are not stating it that way. Now, see the number two. This is part of their demand to cut down waste. They said they don't want the Senate anymore. So this protest will demand that no more that. The workers' salary, invest in education and all of that stuff, release Mazin and they have lists of their demand, okay? So now what I now think will probably answer your question in a better way is to say, what is expected after this? Now, if this goes well, government will fall in Nigeria. Is there any plan if things get to that stage? Who are the group of people that will take over from these rogues? I don't think a lot of them plan it that way. And your question is really, really genuine, though. I just thought I should show you that, all right? They have agendas, but what about the conclusion? You know, we have the stats. Probably some people have an idea of the middle. Who knows what the finishing will be? Do we have the finishing plan? If this criminal government and all of them run away and crash, what kind of people will take over from them? What kind of Nigeria would you have then? So make we not start waiting with no finish, because me, I don't think ahead. What would be the end goal? Showore would love to see some of these guys arrested and tried for their crimes. I am 100% sure of that. Okay. However, what is the end goal should be your question, Baba. Okay. Which I don't know.
Right. Well, to be honest, I didn't.
See, in Kenya right now, in Kenya, if Ruto goes now, the deputy president is going to be sworn in straight away. The way they run their own system, their republic in Kenya, right? The vice president and the president, they are actually from two different groups. Now, coalition bring them together. So, in that regard as well, the transition to another government where election will be held will have to take place in 90 days. You see, that process is there. Now, if we have to alter this and face this so criminals once and for all, when the entire establishment falls, there cannot be a lacuna. You know that. There cannot be a vacancy. So what is the plan? I'm asking openly because I don't know, Baba, and I think you know too.
Well,
right?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I did not. I wasn't aware that it was yes, Shiwere group provided that list because it was after you spoke about that particular list that I started watching. It wasn't long ago. So now I can. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So now that but who, because sometimes when we look at it, Shiwere is like, to be honest, Nigeria is so, people are so confused in Nigeria. Even the youths themselves, they don't know where they belong. You see, they are so confused that they don't know, are we, sometimes they will say we are Nigerians, sometimes then another, we are Yoruba, so Nigerians are so confused so badly that they don't know the way forward, and then
we don't aggravate that confusion. We need clarity. People need clarity, and that is why this platform, women who found out something, we should share them, and those who knows better as well should also share, because the reason why people are watching this is that They need clarity, you know.
Yes, but with the momentum, when during the election and then after the election, when it is already shown clearly that this election was, something was wrong with it. Isn't that clarity enough to say, look, this is enough is enough?
So obvious then, and the remnant of that division from their charity is still existing today, right? And in fact, it is what we are talking about to see. Would they even forget all those divisions and possibly put their heads together now? See, Baba, there are so many factors that could make this impossible to happen, right? And the reason why we have to we are pointing